We've all been there, haven't we? Just staring at a blank page, that cursor blinking away, mocking you almost.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Or maybe the ideas are there, but getting them down clearly with real impact feels like pulling teeth sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And deadlines. Don't even get me started. Look, in today's world, writing is just critical. It's everywhere.
It really is. Emails, reports, everything.
Right. But let's be honest, it isn't always easy. Not for everyone.
No, definitely not.
So that's exactly why today we're doing this deep dive. We're looking at how artificial intelligence, AI, can, well, maybe fundamentally change how you write.
Making it better, faster.
And more effective.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're treating this like a review, looking closely at a really interesting resource that breaks it all down.
Sounds good.
Our guide here is this document, How to Use ChatGPT to Write Better, Faster, and More Effectively. It's from Cine Designs.
Okay.
Think of it like our map. We're pulling out the key insights, the really useful stuff.
The actionable bits.
Yeah, the mission is basically to give you a shortcut, a clear understanding of how ChatGPT isn't just like a gimmick, but something that can genuinely transform your writing process.
Mm-hmm.
And we're really happy this deep dive is brought to you by easymasterai.com.
Great. So maybe we should start with what the guide actually says ChatGPT is, because it's more than just a buzzword.
Good point. Lay it out for us.
Well, the guide describes it as a natural language processing model. It's from OpenAI, using deep learning techniques to generate text that feels really human-like.
Surprisingly so sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just finishing your sentences. It's like one of the most advanced models out there. It gets complex stuff, gives coherent answers, even offers, subtle suggestions that can actually improve your writing.
Okay, so given it's that sophisticated, the guide jumps right into the benefits, right? The advantages of using it.
It does.
And as we go through these, I'm curious, for you listening, what potential uses are already popping into your head for your own writing?
Good question to keep in mind.
So the first big advantage the guide highlights, boosting writing speed and efficiency, which is more than just typing faster, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's about removing that mental friction, the stuff that just stops you in your tracks.
Right.
The guide makes it really clear a big hurdle for writers is just finding the energy and time to produce content consistently, quickly.
Yeah.
So ChatGPT steps in here. It acts as this amazing idea generator, a prompt responder. Imagine you're stuck trying to explain something tricky.
Like quantum computing.
Yeah, perfect example. Ask it for 5 ways to explain quantum computing to a non-expert, and boom, options almost instantly.
That's huge for breaking through writer's block.
Yeah.
Or just when you're tired.
Exactly. It's invaluable for that. It's less about replacing you.
More like having a tireless brainstorming buddy. Always on call.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, and it can help with drafting too, like finishing sentences or even whole paragraphs based on what you started, which frees up your brain power for the really important stuff. The critical thinking, the creative angle, the emotion, the human stuff.
The stuff only you can do.
Right. And the guide points out using specific prompts, playing with its different modes like a creative mode or a rewrite mode, really maximizes that speed boost. Its ability to generate full replies from just bits of sentences, a real time saver.
Okay, speed is one thing, but getting words down fast isn't everything if the quality isn't there. The guide focuses on that too, right? Enhancing the actual quality and effectiveness.
Absolutely crucial point. Speed gets you started, but quality content that actually lands your message. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT can really help here. It suggests better words, maybe different ways to phrase things, or even finds relevant examples to back up your point. Think about technical writing or academic stuff. Accuracy, precision, they're vital. ChatGPT can help nail that. Plus, catching grammar and spelling errors, that alone makes things much more readable.
So it's more than just a spell check. It's kind of like a proofreader and a style editor combined.
That's a really good way to think about it, yeah.
Right.
And to make that work best, the guide says, structure your prompts around your purpose. What's the message you want to send?
Be specific about the goal.
Exactly. Clear goals mean better context for the AI, so it gives more relevant feedback. Using modes like explain mode for background or creative mode for different styles can really lift the quality.
And the feedback part.
Yeah.
It gives suggestions on drafts.
Yeah, you can feed it a draft and get concrete, actionable tips for making it stronger, refining it.
Okay, so speed, check. Quality, check.
Yeah.
But what about writer's block? That universal pain point for writers. The guide talks about ChatGPT helping with that and boosting creativity too.
Oh, definitely. This is where that AI partnership really starts to feel powerful. Writer's block is just killer for productivity.
Tell me about it.
ChatGPT comes in as a strong antidote. It doesn't just give any ideas, but often new perspectives, different ways to keep going. It can break through those mental walls by maybe reframing your topic or suggesting angles you just hadn't thought of. And sometimes it generates unexpected, maybe even weird ideas.
Which can spark something new.
Exactly. It can genuinely inspire creativity, lead you down paths you wouldn't have found otherwise.
So it's not just filling gaps, it's potentially opening new doors creatively.
Precisely. The guide suggests using really open-ended prompts, exploratory ones like what if or imagine type question.
To get it thinking outside the box.
Yeah, and use modes like creative mode or storytelling mode. It also really encourages just experimenting. Try different prompts, test out styles, push your own boundaries with it. It builds confidence, fosters originality.
Right. And the last big benefit the guide covers is its ability to give concrete suggestions for improvement, almost like a writing coach on demand.
Yeah, what's interesting is how it helps in multiple ways. It spots grammar errors, sure, suggests better words, but it can also offer alternative phrasing, help you refine and strengthen things as you go.
How do you get the best suggestions?
Again, clear prompts, give it context. If you input a whole draft, for example, it can give you really specific, useful feedback.
So it could help fix a comma or even suggest how to restructure a really awkward paragraph.
That's right. It's good at improving readability, coherence, fixing punctuations, syntax. It suggests changes to sentence structure, organization to make things flow better, make them clearer.
And vocabulary.
Yeah, suggesting more precise words or more appropriate ones. It makes your writing not just correct, but more effective, more accurate. But, and this is key from the guide, you always have to review the feedback. Consider it carefully.
Don't just blindly accept it.
Exactly. Take the time to implement suggestions thoughtfully. That not only improves that piece, but it genuinely helps you become a better writer over time.
Okay, so tons of benefits. Makes sense. The big question then is, how do you actually use it well? Turn it from just a chatbot into a real writing assistant. The guide covers this, starting with prompts. Choosing the right ones seems huge.
It's absolutely foundational. The guide really hammers this home. The prompt is your instruction, right? So selecting the right one is crucial. It sets the stage for everything ChatGPT gives you back.
Needs to be clear, specific.
And relevant to what you're trying to achieve. Like if you're writing a blog post about sustainable living, asking for 3 tips for reducing waste for busy people works way better than just, tell me about recycling.
Right. Garbage in, garbage out still applies, even with smart AI.
Precisely. You definitely want to avoid prompts that are too broad or vague. They just lead to fuzzy, unhelpful output. The guide also really pushes experimenting with different kinds of prompts.
Like open-ended versus specific.
Yeah, maybe what if prompts for exploring versus ones asking for hard facts or examples. And definitely use the different modes, which we should probably talk about next, to really tailor the output.
Perfect timing. The guide goes into ChatGPT's different modes. It's not just one setting, is it?
No, absolutely not. And this is something the source highlights that honestly a lot of people miss. It has distinct modes built for specific tasks.
Like what?
Well, there's a formal mode. You just add formal to your prompt, and it generates text that fits, a specific professional style. Super useful for reports, proposals.
So I type formal. Draft an exec summary on Q3 results.
Exactly, and knows to use that more formal, business-like language and structure. Then there's question answering mode. Great for getting quick, accurate answers to specific questions.
Like what's the difference between X and Y?
Perfect. Key differences between renewable and non-renewable energy. It's great for fast info retrieval. Creative mode is almost the opposite. Add creative. And it encourages imaginative, sometimes unconventional ideas.
Good for breaking out of a rut.
Totally. Or brainstorming something really new, like creative. Write a short fable about teamwork in the digital age.
Okay. That could be fun and useful. Any other modes?
Yep. Translation mode. Does what it says, translates text. Just give it the text in the target language. Invaluable for global stuff.
Wow, okay.
And completion mode. This helps finish sentences or paragraphs when you're stuck. You start it, it gives you options to finish it. Lifesaver when you just trail off mid-thought.
Right.
Understanding and using these modes, it really lets you control the tool much more effectively.
It's amazing how flexible it is.
Yeah.
Way more than just basic text generation.
Yeah.
Okay, beyond modes, the guide talks about other features too, things that can streamline writing.
Yeah, it asks that question. What else can it do? And it explores some key things people often don't use. One is personalization.
Personalization. How?
You can actually train the model on your writing, upload samples of your stuff. It learns your style, your voice, your tone, even your little quirks.
Seriously? So it can start sounding more like me.
Yeah, which is a game changer for keeping your writing consistent.
That is genuinely amazing. What else?
It offers specific word and phrase suggestions. Really handy when you're hunting for the perfect synonym or want to mix up your vocabulary. You put in your text, ask for suggestions, get a tailored list.
Okay.
The core is still text generation, obviously. Its main job. Creating high-quality text on tons of topics, quickly, based on your prompts and mode choice.
Generating whole sentences, paragraphs.
Exactly. There's also a specific sentence completion feature for that exact thing, helps you finish a sentence when you pause. And for anyone drowning in info, text summarization is brilliant.
Condensing long stuff.
Yeah, long documents, research papers, articles, it boils them down to key points, saves a ton of reading time. All these together really do make the whole writing process smoother.
Okay, this is super practical. We know what it is, the benefits, the features, the modes. But like any powerful tool, using it well means following best practices. The guide covers this, starting with keeping your goals in mind.
Absolutely fundamental. The guide really emphasizes this. Having clear goals keeps you focused, motivated, on track, and it brings in that classic framework, SMART goals.
Specific, measurable.
Attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Yeah, setting goals like that makes them clear, achievable, gives them a deadline, really helps maintain focus.
So not just, I want to write more, but something concrete like finish a 1,000-word blog post on AI ethics by Friday afternoon.
Exactly that. The guide also says write your goals down. Makes them real, visible, and break big goals into smaller tasks. Makes huge projects feel less scary, plus you can track progress.
Good advice.
And importantly, celebrate the wins, even small ones. Keeps you going. Plus, remember to revisit and adjust goals when needed. Things change, priorities shift.
Makes sense. That's solid advice for any project, really.
Yeah.
Another key practice, staying organized and focused. Easy to get chaotic when writing.
Oh, totally. Critical for actually getting things done. The guide strongly suggests creating a writing plan. Outline the steps, research, outlining, drafting, editing, proofreading.
A roadmap.
Exactly. Prevents overwhelm.
Yep.
It also talks about setting realistic deadlines. Be honest about how long stuff takes. Give yourself enough time.
And what about distractions? The digital black holes.
Yeah. Paramount these days. The guide advises minimizing distractions. Turn off notifications, emails, find a quiet spot if you can. Concentrate.
Easier said than done sometimes.
It's true. But also, take regular breaks. Sounds counterintuitive, but it stops burnout, keeps you sharp, schedule them in. And obviously, use writing tools apps for outlining, tracking changes, even distraction blockers. They really help.
Okay, now we get to maybe the most important point, something we talk about a lot. Using ChatGPT as a tool. A partner, not just letting it take over from your own skills. That difference feels critical.
It's arguably the most crucial best practice here. Look, ChatGPT is impressive, no doubt, but the guide is clear. You have to understand its limits.
It's not human.
Right. It's trained on data. It might be grammatically perfect, sound coherent, but it might lack context, factual accuracy sometimes, real nuance, or, importantly, your voice.
So how should we use it then?
Primarily, use it to generate ideas and prompts. Spark inspiration, get past that initial hurdle, develop early thoughts.
So it helps you start or get unstuck, but it doesn't write the whole thing for you.
Exactly. You can also use it to refine your writing, generate variations, suggest synonyms, diversify your language. But, and this huge, always proofread and edit its output.
Always.
Make sure it fits your context, your message, and sounds like you. And fundamentally, you absolutely must develop your own writing skills. Practice, read, take courses.
Keep learning yourself.
Yes. And use ChatGPT as a learning tool, too. Analyze how it writes things. See where you can improve your own craft. It's about synergy, collaboration, not replacement.
That makes complete sense. And the final best practice connects right into that, being open to learning, exploring new techniques constantly.
Yeah, this is about lifelong growth as a writer. The guide stresses how important it is to read widely and critically. Different genres, different styles.
See how others do it.
Exactly. Pay attention to how good writers use language, structure sentences, control pace. Then try to bring that into your own work. And it repeats. Practice writing every single day, like a muscle.
The more you do it, the better you get.
Totally. Joining a writing group or workshop. Excellent for feedback, learning from others. The guide also points to great online writing resources.
Like Grammarly.
Yeah, Grammarly for the technical side, Purdue, OWL, the online writing lab for style guides, Writer's Digest for craft advice, all great supplements, and obviously taking writing courses, structured learning helps.
And experimenting. Trying new things.
Absolutely. The guide says experiment with new techniques, try different styles, tones, genres. Use ChatGPT, maybe, to generate prompts that push you outside your comfort zone.
Get uncomfortable to grow.
That's where discovery happens. Also, embrace criticism. Hard to hear sometimes, but so valuable for seeing blind spots. And finally, just stay curious. Writing is always learning. Ask questions, find resources, learn from mistakes. Challenge yourself.
Wow. Okay. We have really dug into a lot of great stuff, from how to use ChatGPT to write better, faster, and more effectively. Let's try and sum up the core takeaways here.
Yeah, good idea.
It seems clear ChatGPT isn't just some passing tech trend. It's a genuinely powerful asset. It can seriously improve your writing speed, efficiency,
Re-enhance the quality, the effectiveness.
help beat writer's block, boost creativity, give concrete suggestions for getting better.
Across pretty much any writing task.
But, and this is the big, but it's a tool, a sophisticated partner, maybe, but definitely not a replacement for actual human skill and your unique voice.
Couldn't agree more. And just to hammer home those key best practices from the guide, always keep your writing goals clear. SMART goals are great for this.
Right. Stay organized, stay focused.
Critically, use it as a supplement. Keep developing your own skills through practice, through learning. Always proofread and edit what it gives you.
Make sure it fits your context, your message, your style. Your voice matters most.
Exactly.
And beyond just ChatGPT, the guide finished by reminding us about those timeless ways to improve writing, things that work with AI tools, not instead of them.
Yeah, like reading widely, critically, practicing every day.
Joining writing groups, using those great online resources, Grammarly, Purdue, OWL, Writer's Digest, taking courses.
All foundational stuff that works alongside any tech.
Definitely.
You know, a really interesting final thought this raises, something to chew on. Consider how mastering tools like ChatGPT, plus committing to your own skill growth, might actually redefine what being a writer means in this digital age.
That's provocative.
It raises a big question, right?
Yeah.
What new kinds of creativity, what new efficiencies might emerge when human ingenuity and this kind of advanced AI really start working together seamlessly? It feels like a pretty exciting frontier.
That is a powerful thought to end on. The world of AI for writing, and honestly for everything else, is changing so fast. It's definitely worth exploring and understanding more.
Absolutely.
And if you are ready to dive deeper, learn more about AI, maybe even discover tools that could help you make money with AI, you should definitely visit easymasterai.com. That's easymasterai.com. They made this whole deep dive possible, and they've got a ton more resources to help you really get a handle on AI and what it could do for you.